Hi, it's Tiffany Lorraine Galloway with a special episode of the Resilient Mother podcast. So I was looking at all the episodes, and it turns out we're at our 2-year anniversary mark. We've been doing 2 years of the Resilient Mother podcast. I'm so grateful to all the guests, to all the listeners. We're a little podcast that's mighty with a great message to support mothers and help them to be resilient. And this year we've gotten more into my original thought for this podcast, which was to support mothers and to share stories of resilient mothers and way to be resilient and ways to make the next generation resilient. And so today, to kind of celebrate and to fill in a special episode for this month for the Resilient Mother podcast, I'm going to give you a framework on love, resilient love, and share with you some of the things I've learned as a mother of four, as a birth mom, as a host of this podcast, as a mother of daughters and sons, of a teenager right now, just all those things and all the value that I believe this podcast has brought into my life and the perspective that it's given me, that I can be a resilient mother and I can honor the sacred role that enriches my life that I know God gave to me and the children that God has given to me to care for. So with that, I have some little videos today to go with our presentation and a framework that you can take notes on if you'd like to. So get out that pen and paper if you want, or save this video so that you can come back to it and reference it in the future as a resource. And if you're listening on audio, feel free to download this and save this so that you can know a source to come back to what resilient love is and to find that for yourself in your life. So as a mother, it's a life-changing experience. The minute that you become a mother, your definition of love is going to change one way or another. And we all become mama bears and fiercely love our children. And we want to continue to do that resiliently throughout their lives from the day that they show up. And if anything could be true about the guests on this podcast, they've taught me that no matter what your circumstances are, no matter what you face, you can be a resilient mother, that your love can help you show up in ways that are new to you, to help you become more, to allow you to have the power in your life to be the mother that that child needs and who help them to become who they were meant to be through your love. Love is this great motivation for us. So let's talk about what love is a little bit and some different definitions, but we're really focusing on that mother-child relationship in this discussion. So, of course, we're carrying that child for 9 months inside our bodies. We put our lives on the line to bring these children into the world, and that bond starts right away from the time that they're in your womb. So the things that you are doing to enrich love to that child start from the day that they are inside you and that they're growing. I think some think that it doesn't start before then, but I found in my own experience that the minute I start loving them, that I know that they are there, the more rich our bond is and the more they are able to start grasping the concept of love. They hear everything in the womb. They hear your voice. You're the first voice that they hear. And if you start talking to your belly as it's growing, you can start enriching that child with love from the minute that you know that they exist and that they're a part of you. That love can also help you take the motivation to take really good care of yourself. The habits that you form while you're pregnant really are showing love to your child. Proper nutrition, exercise, perhaps physical therapy, researching what it's going to be. And then some moms have complications. Some moms have bed rest. Some moms have special needs that they have to adjust to bring that child into the world. I myself have been through a little bit of bed rest. My first pregnancy, I had some issues, kidney issues. I had a stint, ended up in the ICU. It was quite the ordeal. And luckily, the other pregnancies, every birth has a different story, of course, and nothing quite goes as planned. But for the most part, the rest of my pregnancies were healthy, and I feel very blessed about that. I know there's also women who have miscarriages, and those children are still loved, and they still get incorporated into the part of their life that they want to, and that fits their family and that their needs. And we've shared that on this podcast. There's some very touching episodes about loss and rainbow babies and starting over and getting pregnant, miracle births, fertility. We've got it all covered here. And we also have some in Mother Shape the Future Facebook group. If you want to go check out that group, that's what kind of started all this, was a summit that was Mother Shape the Future. And then it turned into the Resilient Mother podcast as a continuation of interviews and bringing value on these subjects. So if one of those speaks to you, go seek out previous episodes or go check out and join Mother Shape the Future. Or we have a Facebook page for the Resilient Mother podcast now as well. The next part of this framework, the L stands for love is. For those of you that were listening, love is. We're going to use LOVE as our framework. The next part is R. Now, that's not going to make sense until we get to the end of the phrase, but love is R. You could add this to love is loving ourselves, love our lives, love what is ours. And what is ours? Well, really, everything that we have is from God. And so for me, the ultimate form of love is recognizing His love for us. And when you know His love, it gives you power in your life to be love and want to give love to everyone, especially your children and your family as you are raising them. And I believe it's very important for my children to build their relationship with their higher power on their own terms so that it's personal to them, because it is a personal relationship with God or your higher source or whatever that is. It's an important foundation of love to have a higher source of love and a higher truth to live up to and to reach out to, because love is the most powerful force in the universe, and there is no limit to it. There's enough in the world, in the universe, for everyone. And if you can't quite tap into that yourself, for loving yourself, forgiving yourself, being an example of love, you can tap into His source. You can tap into your Heavenly Father, your God's source, your higher power. There are other sources of love that can fill you up and help you be what you need to be, to give you the power to go beyond what you could maybe do yourself. And that's been so true of the true stories in the Resilient Mother podcast of mothers who found ways and a source of strength and resilience and love to do for their child what they never knew they could do before, out of a heart of love and service towards their children and that relationship and the family that is their unit that they got to create and be the leader of, or to be the spouse and the wife and the traditional family unit. Whatever your role, single mother, traditional mother, birth mother, adopted mother, surrogate mother, there's lots of definitions of mother, adopted mom, aunt, sister. We have so many ways that we can define motherhood and that we can allow everyone to embrace the sacred role that it is, because there are children out there that need mother figures in their life. They need this love, and it is ours. It's our love. Just think about that for a minute. You own the love that you create. It is yours, and it is yours to give, and others' love is yours to receive. It's a two-part relationship, but when love is present, it never fails. When love is present, it always comes back to the truth of that person and the other person, respect and honoring each other. And that can be our children and honoring who they are, who they came in this world to be, the love that is within them, the special God-given gifts that are within them. We embrace what is theirs, what is our truth, what is their truth. And when we do that, we can really do it from a place of love. And when we do it resiliently, we allow them to really shine, and we allow them to step into who they were meant to be so they can contribute in this world in a profound way that they were destined to come to this earth, into our lives, to be. Nothing happens by accident. No one who crosses our path is by accident. And often someone else is an answer to a prayer and can be an example of God's love for you and a tender mercy. Maybe your child is your tender mercy and your example of love that flows to you. But it's important as a parent to own your love and your responsibility and your role and be that example of love and be the source of love. No matter what happens in your child's life, they need to know that your love is always theirs. that your love will always be there for them, that you will always be that support, the one that shows up, the one that'll be there for them, and recognize their value of just who they are, not what they do, not what happens to them, just loving who they are resiliently through their entire life. That force for good can work miracles and create profound impact and change in your child's life. And then the ripple effect of who that child is going to touch and their ripple effect of their actions and their choices that they're going to make in the future. It starts with you. And that can feel a little overwhelming. Responsibility of love. We don't always get it right. That's okay. We can ask for forgiveness. We can show our humanity. We can show our empathy, our compassion. We can show that people make mistakes and you can be forgiven, that you can forgive, and that you can move forward in love in your life, always in your life. So just own your choices because love is yours. Love is ours to do something with, and it's innate in us when we tap into it. It's natural. It's something we can trust in our gut, especially as mothers. If we come from a place of love, we can trust what our gut is telling us our child needs, our child wants. That bond is there with that child for a reason and can be built too and can be improved. It's never too late to start from this place of love. It's never too late to begin again. That's part of love too. It can evolve, it can change, it can get better, it can be deeper, it can get richer. There's always expansion within love for us and for our hearts and for what we do with our love. So that is the first part. So we have LO. L was love is, O was ours. So now we're going to come to the next part. Love is our very. Very is going to make more sense with the last word. So very is talking about the level at which we are going to embrace what is ours. Very is this thing that encompasses everything. So the idea here, and I'll go to the last part so this makes sense. So the whole phrase with LOVE is going to be love is our very existence. So very existence go together. So let's do those together so they make a little more sense. Just the fact that you are alive and that you are here and that you happened is amazing. What did it take for your parents to get together and to make you? What happened to allow those circumstances for you to come to fruition in the universe and be the very unique, special, valuable, worthy person that you are? It's a miracle. You're a miracle. You're a walking miracle in a lot of ways. And if we can embrace each other in that way, it allows more room for love and compassion in all that we do. And we need to teach our children that to be resilient. We can have boundaries. Love is also boundaries. Love is also giving the hard truth and loving in a way that lets people know when they're going the wrong path or when they've done something that hurts you. It is honesty, it is truth, it is communicated. But overall, in our very existence, everything that happens in our life, good or bad, this is all for our good. It all deepens our character, enriches us, expands our empathy. If something has broken your heart open, it's because you were meant to open up, to receive more, and to expand. You can think about the Grinch and the Grinch that stole Christmas, Dr. Seuss, how his heart grew bigger and bigger and bigger from what it was. Sometimes love breaks our heart, but it allows us to be open and expand and get more. And sometimes motherhood does that. Motherhood will push you to the edge and send you over the cliff sometimes. And your love is what keeps you going. Your love is what helps you get back up. Your love for your child helps you to become more than you ever would have before and to overcome obstacles you in no other way could you. And I know sometimes we feel very alone as a mother. We can be isolated at home, doing the laundry, the dishes, the mundane things. And some of us have someone to come home and thank us for it, and some of us don't. And we think that our things that we do don't matter that much. But they do, because we're raising the next generation. And we want to raise them to be resilient in this ever fast changing world. Things are going to change vastly in the next 5 to 10 years with technology and opportunities and what jobs are, and maybe even what families and homes look like and get to be. Maybe they get to be home with each other more. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Or traveling. Like the world is always going to change, but love can be constant. Your love as a parent and as a mother can be that constant force and foundation for somebody so that they have a home base, that they have someone to come home to, that they have a place they're allowed to fall apart, pick up the pieces, put their mosaic back together and get back out there and be the beauty that they are. So, in our very existence, can we be grateful for it? Can we be grateful for the miracle that we are? In gratitude, we can find love as well. When we are grateful for what we have, it's much easier to love. It's much easier to be positive. It's much easier to do the things that are right and move us in a positive direction. And we want our children to understand that, because that's part of being resilient, is being able to always come back to the positive, being able to get to the other side of it and look back and take pride and confidence in your ability to overcome things. And love as well is this power and this force that allows you to live your truth and for them to live their truth. And the truth is, your very existence is a miracle. If we all really embrace that a little bit more, if we really instilled that in our kids more, wouldn't that give them the confidence and the self assurance, the self esteem to realize how miraculous their life is, just as it is, that they can be loved for just who they are, where they're at on their journey, no matter what that journey looks like, whether it's got complications in it or not, whether they have a struggle or not. At some point, they are. We all have our failures that we can turn into beautiful results. We can allow life to change us for the better. And love is a part of that. Love is the base for that. The world needs more love and light, and for people to shine that into the world. Our love, too, needs to be balanced. In this very existence, we could lose ourselves in love for someone else, or what we think is love for someone else. So, healthy love is important in all of this, because nothing should take you away from your truth. And love is not giving yourself away to someone else so that you lose yourself. So, that's where boundaries come in, even with our children. If you completely wear yourself out raising your children, giving to your children, you don't have the lighter spark of your own ambition or what lights you up, and you're not full, you can't be that full capacity love source that your children need. You need to do the things that fill you up and allow you to enjoy your very existence and love your very existence. And it's important today. We're really fighting a lot of mental health issues, wellness. We're fighting for lifestyles that allow us to be whole, to feel valued, to feel worthy, to be expressive, to be the individuals that we are, and to live lives that are very fulfilling, lives that we love living. And we can do that. And we can show our children the proper habits, the proper way of dealing and communicating with others, building relationships. That is a healthy form of love. Now, we're never going to get perfect, and everyone's going to mess up their kids a little bit. We just are, but we can do better than the generation before us. We can break patterns that are not healthy, that are not helpful. And there's many stories of that as well in the Resilient Mother podcast that you can refer to. We've talked about different forms of abuse. We've talked about disabilities, mental health, divorce. We've talked about many, many aspects of motherhood in challenging times, but we've also shared the hope and the joy and the resilience that has come from those experiences, and that everyone's existence has value, that everyone's story has some value to inspire someone else. And we want to center this month all around resilient love. I'm very excited that this is the subject that we land on at our anniversary of the Resilient Mother podcast, because this has definitely been a labor of love. It's been a labor of love with my son being the inspiration of how a lot of this started. But the heart of it is I want all mothers to feel love. I want them to understand how to be the source of love for their children and to inspire others so we can all elevate each other. I was looking to build a community. I was looking to build a resource for mothers that any mother, no matter what her background is, no matter what she's struggling with, can come find a positive community to uplift her and to elevate her to be more and to feel loved in her role and her responsibility as a mother, because mother is a sacred role. The hand that rocks the cradle can rule the nation. In a lot of ways, we are raising the next generation, and we can do it with resilient love. Thank you for joining me today. And if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, we're still rocking and rolling. We'll be going into year 3 here. We're continuing with our Resilient You theme that we follow. If you have any specialty around resilience or motherhood that you would like to share, I'd love to have you on the podcast. The information can be found at the Linktree link that you see, or to contact me, and I can get you the scheduling link when we record these. We'll be doing a few special live episodes in May as well, with some special guests to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of the Resilient Mother podcast. If you'd like to be part of that or one of those, please also let me know. Just wanted to give you my heart today. I wanted to give you this special episode on love and resilience, and just my thoughts that are in my heart that I hope other mothers can resonate with and can take in. You are love, you are loved, and there's enough love in the universe for everyone. And we can be that source of love and share it and teach our children to do the same. All right. Well, I believe in you, believe in yourself. God bless. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Resilient Mother podcast, and we will see you in the next episode. Take care.